Tov B'Tvach. Today, the 20th of Cheshvan, marks the birthday of the fifth Rebbe, the Rebbe Rashab. So I thought it would be appropriate to share a story from the Rebbe Rashab. There was once a Jew who lost his job. He was a mechanic, and he was a good mechanic, but somehow or other, he lost his job, and he was struggling to take care of his family. And he couldn't find a job, and he struggled, and finally some Chassidim in the town, who were followers of the Rebbe Rashab, advised him to go to the Rebbe to ask for a blessing. Not being a Chassid, he wasn't inclined to go that way, but his desperate situation made him open to it. The Chassidim raised the funds for the car fare, and he traveled to Rebbe Rashab, met with him, and told him his situation. And the Rebbe Rashab responded by saying, "My advice is you should move to this and this city, and your wife and you should open up a hat store, and Hashem will help." And that was the end of their encounter. He leaves the Rebbe's room, and he's totally what? I've asked for a bracha, I asked for advice. The Rebbe said, go to a strange town and open a hat store. So he came home, he was not inclined to listen to this advice, but again, the Chassidim said, he asked, the Rebbe told you, the Rebbe's a holy man, listen. They helped him fund the trip. This is a pre-GoFundMe, whatever. They sent him off to that city. When they arrived there, they knew no one, and they didn't have very much money. So the only location they could find to rent for a store was a very out-of-the-way place. So they rented it, and they bought hats, or the wife created hats, and they sat in the store praying that someone should come and buy their hats. And I believe 3 months went by, a long time went by, no one set foot in their store. And they're having second thoughts and third thoughts and fourth thoughts. Why did we go to the Rebbe? Why did we ask the Rebbe? Why did we listen to the Rebbe? What the heck are we doing in this city? We have no funds to survive, and we're paying rent in the hat store. What's going on? And one day, as they're sitting pretty much crying in their store, bemoaning their fate, a fancy wagon pulls up, and a very well-dressed gentleman comes into the store. And he says, just what I need to buy a gift for my wife now that I'm returning home. And he starts grabbing hats off the shelf. He takes this one and that one, and he has a whole pile. And this is the first sale in their life. They're scared to ask for too much money. So when he asks for a price, so the man quotes a very low price. And the guy, this rich man, says, I'm not a charity case, tell me the real price, I'll pay it. So they tell him the real price, and he gladly pulls out the money. And as he finishes paying, he looks at the man and he says, "Why do you look so sad? I see you have tears on your face, you look sad." And the guy just pours out the whole story. That he's a mechanic by trade, he lost his job, and he couldn't find a job, and he went to the Rebbe, and the Rebbe sent him to the city to open a hat store, and this is the first sale in my life, and I don't know what's going to be with me, how will I support my family, how will I survive? And the rich man says, "You know what? You might just be the man, because I have a relative, I think a brother or a brother-in-law, who has a big factory, and 2 of his machines broke down 2 months ago, and he can't get them working, so you can understand how frustrated he is and how much money he's losing. I'm going to give you car fare, I'll give you a letter of introduction, perhaps you can help him out." To make a long story short, he traveled to the city, although it wasn't exactly the machines he was used to. Hashem helped, and he was able to fix them. Next thing you know, he was given the position of plant manager, his financial situation was taken care of, and he was able to settle and take care of his family. So, listen to the Rebbe's advice. Have a great week.